Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devil 20 on YouTube. How is everyone doing this Thursday evening? Hope everyone's have a good Wednesday evening so far. Hope everyone's looking forward to the rest of this week. And I hope everyone's looking forward to another brand new weekend in March 2023 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you are new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to put that notification bell on all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube to receive more Fortnite content, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, the new Formula 1 game, more previews, more match reactions, and much more brand stuff planned for the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. So please subscribe to the channel and community if you are new. And good evening to every single one of you, and welcome to Manchester United's Emirates FA Cup 5th round match reaction from their 3-1 home win against West Ham United Football Club at Old Trafford Football Stadium this evening, in which Manchester United, for me, we're very lucky we are in the position we are in today. Manchester United, for me, in my opinion, first half, were absolutely a mess. We were abysmal, and for me, we were on the backward step towards another competition of us going out from. And I thought West Ham United, for me, in my opinion, were the better team. I thought West Ham were the better team in the first half. I thought West Ham had more of the attacking phase for the game. And I felt like West Ham really should have got the result they wanted, because going 1-0 up at Old Trafford is not an easy outcome to get to. And I thought Man United tonight were just way off the pace. Has the hangover from the Carabao Cup final victory against Newcastle at the weekend got into Man United's players' head and got into Man United's system, thinking they're over the line and can actually beat West Ham and think West Ham are going to roll over. I just think tonight Man United were way off the pace, and I thought Man United were dreadful. I'm not going to beat about around the bush about the performance. I saw the team selection tonight, and I couldn't understand the amount of rotation Erik ten Hag made. I thought, for me, it was a massive mistake, and I felt like Erik ten Hag was making a huge mistake picking that team in the first place. For me, it's not on the manager, though. I don't blame Erik ten Hag for rotating the team. Honestly, I thought, in my opinion, that he could have gone with the team he went with and would have got Man United over the line. And for me, it simply wasn't going to happen. I knew that team selection tonight from the first half. Man United were the players with Scott McTominay, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Malacia, Delot, Garnacho and Weghorst in the first half. Manchester United were absolutely dreadful. I feel sorry for West Ham in some aspects. They simply didn't get the result they wanted and ended up losing the game a lot more than what they wanted to. But that is purely down to Manchester United not starting the game well. We were slow from the start. As soon as that first whistle went, Man United's heads were gone. I felt like the substitutions in the second half completely and utterly changed the game. And I felt sorry for West Ham in the end, because they were the better team and caused much of a goal-scoring threat to Man United's goal from where we were in the first half. We simply just didn't turn up tonight. And I felt really sorry for West Ham, because they deserved the result. I felt like West Ham were the better team. And for me, Manchester United this evening should be out the FA Cup. We really should be in the 5th round. We're lucky to see where we are tonight, because Erik ten Hag has got that team over the line and basically thought to himself, do you know what? I've got a team capable of beating West Ham tonight. And I looked at the team and I didn't have the confidence of seeing this team get over the line. I just didn't believe that we were going to get the result we wanted. And I did think we were going to head out the FA Cup at one point. I really thought Man United were going to go out of competition and they were going to bottle it. I mean, we're lucky we've got a kind FA Cup quarter-final draw now. We have been drawn against Fulham at Old Trafford, another tough Premier League opposition for Manchester United. Is it being set up for Man United-Man City final? In my opinion, it probably is being set up for that final. I just felt really embarrassed tonight. I felt like Man United simply just didn't turn up, and I felt sorry for the fans. I felt sorry for the supporters, but I think the impact of having Casemiro and Marcus Rashford in the second half and Fred as well basically changed the whole outcome of that game. And it doesn't surprise me they've actually changed the outcome. It doesn't surprise me we've had to go back to our bench again to get the players off the bench and get this club over the line. And I felt sorry for that bench, because that team is now looking knackered. I think the fatigue is now starting to set in. And basically, we haven't got enough good, decent backup options to replace the likes of Marcus Rashford. We haven't got a replacement for Fernandes, for Casemiro, Eriksen, Donny van der Beek. We haven't got a replacement for Garnacho. Sancho is nowhere to be seen again. Jack Butland ain't getting any game time. And you look at the back four as well. I mean, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, I questioned why they got picked tonight. And I'm glad we've won. I'm glad we're through. But Man United made us work for that tonight. That fans and supporters were put through that absolute mill tonight of watching that crap for 90 minutes. I felt sorry for them because I felt like, in my opinion, we would put West Ham to the sword tonight. And I expected from the Carabao Cup final to give the players some confidence boost to take till the end of the season in May. But it felt like tonight that the cracks are appearing again in that first team. And if we're looking at that first team, I questioned the team in the first place of how we've got into the position we are in today. I just felt, in my personal opinion, that if Man United would have better players and they had a better team, we would have probably put West Ham away tonight. But it does prove to show tonight. I think West Ham have got a team that can stay up in the Premier League. I felt like tonight West Ham have got the quality to be able to compete with the top four. And I feel like West Ham, for me, David Moyes has done a decent job of them. He has got some very, very good players out in his ammunition. And I felt like West Ham, as soon as the own goal went in through the Bruno Fernandes corner, West Ham were on the back foot. Man United turned up and put West Ham away. I just felt sorry that, why didn't we start the way we started tonight? Well, it goes down to those players, in my opinion. I feel sorry for Erik ten Hag in all of this, though. Erik ten Hag really should not have had to be putting up with this squad he's got in the first place. I think he's now realising that you can't rely on Scott McTominay. He was bloody dreadful in the first half. I mean, for me, as a midfielder, I would be lucky if he even got in a Leicester team. Scott McTominay is never, ever going to be good enough. And the amount of praise that guy seems to get in that midfield is a complete and utter joke. He's an absolute atrocious footballer. And for me, how he even plays for Manchester United, he should count himself lucky. He is going to cost us that midfield in the future. That midfield is already on its knees already due to the injuries of Eriksen and Donny van der Beek. And you're now stuck with reliance on Fernandes and Casemiro and Sabitzer to get this team over the line till May. For me, in my opinion, it's not going to happen. This team is going to be on its knees by May, and we're still left in the FA Cup. We're still competing for top four. We're still in Europa League, and we're still in the FA Cup now. I mean, in my opinion, where does Man United's squad go to for the rest of the season? For me, in my opinion, I think Man United should have had a better January transfer window, because against a team like West Ham, this team should be able to be available to rotate. But Erik ten Hag is basically relying on like 3 or 4 of those players to start the game, because he hasn't got the options as backups to be able to rotate the squad the way he wants it to. And I felt like in the first half, if Man United were as bad as what they were in the first half, I thought the second half, for me, in my opinion, I felt like it was only going to get worse. I felt like West Ham's goal really shouldn't have stood. I mean, that decision by VAR, yet again, to give that West Ham goal, when I've looked back at the replay 2 or 3 times, the ball is actually out of play. The ball has crossed the line. The ball's on the other side of the turf. It's out of play. And VAR has given the goal. I feel like, for me, if VAR can't make decisions properly, don't be involved in English football. For me, you're costing the livelihood and you're costing the ability of being able to watch a good football match when you've got VAR making complete and utter pathetic decisions and standing by the referee's original decision to give West Ham the goal. That is not a goal. If that was in the Europa League or that is in the Premier League, that goal is chalked off and it's given as a throw-in. But we just set back, and what I can't stand from Maguire, Ben Rama is unmarked in the box, and Ben Rama has got a free shot on goal, and Ben Rama is allowed to shoot. Maguire's body positioning is questionable. He basically turns away from the ball being aimed at him, and he's let the goal. And De Gea's position as goalkeeper is also terrible as well, because he knows Maguire's positioning is costing the goal, because we didn't even close down Ben Rama's shot. We're not even closing down the opposition's goal. And what for me is like, we basically stood still and let West Ham score because the goal was given. Man United just stood there like statues, and it's questionable why we allowed that to happen. That should not be happening at a defensive level at Manchester United. But because Maguire is so crap and he ain't no leader and he ain't no captain, you don't get any confidence from a player like that who is really, really shit. I'm sorry, he's a crap footballer. I'm sorry, we should have never paid 80 million for him in the fucking first place. And I'm sorry, it's true. I am done with players like Maguire and Lindelof and Dalot and McTominay starting games for this football club. They are never, ever going to be good enough. So why are we taking risks and rotating the team tonight? knowing we have to keep the team fresh. I'm sorry, if you're Manchester United and you've got a good set of players getting in the results on the pitch, you should be starting your first team full strength every single game. If this football club, like they say, are serious about getting more trophies, they should be starting their first full strengthened team every single week. It should be strengthened team after strong team after strong team. Every game we've got, you should be playing your full strength team to get your club over the line. You can't rely on these fringe players to do your job. You cannot rely on them. And it showed tonight, the more chances some of these fringe players get, this is going to cost this football club, and it's going to cost them badly. Your reliance is gone. The trust and respect for me from some of those players is gone tonight. You saw tonight how crap we were. We didn't start the game. West Ham were all fucking over us. Declan Rice, for me, why is he not at a top 6 club? He should be at a top 6 club. He really, really should be. He should be at a top 6 club, in my opinion, to get better football. What's my opinions on Fred? Well, for me, I thought he was a bit shaky when he came on. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. I think Fred, he took his goal well. That was down to Weghorst closing the West Ham centre-back down and putting Fred through on goal. That's what made Fred's goal. But for me, can I trust Fred full 90 minutes? I don't think I can. I've seen it too many times this season. Fred is basically not good enough. I don't think he's ever going to be good enough. I think Fred would be lucky to get into a Newcastle team. I can't see Fred doing a job for this football club full time. And that, for me, Fred's better than McTominay. Let's not beat around the bush. Fred is a better footballer than Scott McTominay. I'm always going to think that, but deep down, both of them are never going to be good enough. And it showed tonight, McTominay was dragged off at half-time because he was shit. There's no beating around the bush with some players. Enough is done of the chances and proof FC. These players have had too many chances now to prove themselves under Erik ten Hag. They are never, ever going to be good enough. If they're never going to be good enough, they shouldn't be kicking a ball for this football club. And tonight, we are nearly out of the FA Cup. But it was down to Ten Hag's magical substitutions again to get this club into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Lucky we've got a kind draw. Fulham ain't going to be easy. We're not going to have to sit back and let them hit us. We are going to have to take the game to Fulham and beat them at Old Trafford. Luckily, we've had every single FA Cup game at Old Trafford this season. I just can't see long-term how we can keep winning trophies with this squad we've got. I felt like if Ten Hag would have been given a better January transfer window and would have got the players he'd have wanted, we might not have been in this spot. We might not have been in this in the first place. We might not have been struggling. But the problem is, because Ten Hag has got his faith in some of those players already know they're on the first team sheet to start every game, because Ten Hag knows the quality he's got in that squad, it simply isn't there. And for me, my honest, brutal opinion, if I'm Manchester United manager and I haven't got a good enough team, I should be calling out my press conferences. I should be demanding more. But the problem is Ten Hag is not allowed to call it how it is, because he's got the Muppets and the board that are running this club into the ground. And apparently, if the rumours are true, we've got to sell to buy in the summer because the Glazers still might be in charge of this club running it. We shouldn't have to sell to buy. That club tonight, that squad ain't good enough. It really isn't. The hype from the Carabao Cup final for me is gone. The hype's gone. The FA Cup's out. The Carabao Cup, that's been done for nearly 3 days. We had to move on from that. And it felt like Manchester United knew they won the Carabao Cup. It felt like they didn't take the game seriously and they thought they were going to walk over West Ham, just like they did to Newcastle. It simply wasn't the case. West Ham turned up knowing Manchester United won a trophy. They didn't fear coming to Old Trafford tonight. West Ham attacked us. I mean, when you've got Mikel Antonio running one-on-one down De Gea, Maguire and Lindelof are like ghosts. They're nowhere to be seen. They're not closing down Antonio, but luckily De Gea keeps that out to keep the clean sheet in the first half. But we came out second half, and it's like West Ham were a completely different team. It's like West Ham turned into Manchester United. It's felt like West Ham thought to ourselves, we've got nothing to lose here. We've got an opportunity to cause a massive FA Cup upset and get us through to the quarterfinals. We could win a trophy. As soon as that old goal goes in, the whole game is changed. That is down to the substitution of Casemiro, the substitution of Marcus Rashford, and the substitution of bringing on Fred. Those 3 players changed that game tonight. West Ham could not cope with the pace. Manchester United were throwing at them in the second half. West Ham folded. West Ham collapsed in that second half. They took the foot off the gas. They let Man United attack them and simply cost them the opportunity to be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Manchester United are lucky. Yeah, Man United are lucky. I'm not beating around the bush. Manchester United are very fucking lucky to be in that quarterfinal tonight. Let's not beat around the bush. We were not brilliant. We were not fantastic. And for me, we need to get better now, because I felt like it was a completely different side to what I saw against Newcastle. It was completely night and day to what we won. And yes, I agree with Terry in the chat. Garnacho was fucking fantastic tonight. That is the best I have seen Garnacho in a Man United shirt for a very, very long time. That is the best I have seen Garnacho in a Man United shirt. And for me, why he hasn't been shown his full credential is due to the fact that he's waiting to sign his new contract, and he feels like he deserves to have a brand new salary because he feels like he's deserved it based on his performances. Well, based on what I saw tonight, Man United need to give this fucking kid a pay rise and get him on that new contract, because if Garnacho walks out this door, the quality he's going to go and show for another team at a top European club will be shown straight away. If he goes to Juventus or a PSG, he's getting in that team straight, because Garnacho has got the potential to take his game to the next level. Without that wonder goal from Garnacho, this game's heading into extra time. It could go to penalties. Manchester United could have been out tonight. Yeah, we have got Fulham in the quarterfinals. It's not going to be an easy task. Fulham are a good team. No one expected for Fulham to even avoid relegation this season. No one expected Fulham to do as well as what they've done in this Premier League season. Everybody ripped Fulham off. Fulham are going to come to Old Trafford now and sense, well, if West Ham can score, we can go there and score, and we can get the result, and we can get the win. That is what Fulham are going to start believing, because they're going to look at that performance and they're going to look at that team and they think to themselves, if West Ham can do that to Manchester United, what could we do to them with better quality players? I think we'll beat Fulham. I don't fear playing Fulham. Man City, yet again, have been given the easiest task of playing Burnley of the Championship. Burnley might go to the Etihad and beat them. We're going to have to all hope that that happens. But long-term tonight, if we're looking at performance as a whole, I questioned how we're even in the quarterfinals, because I feel like we don't deserve it. I feel like, why are we here? Well, that's because of the impact of Casemiro. For me, Casemiro has to go down as probably the signing of the summer by an absolute mile. Casemiro by a mile is the best player in that Man United team. The job he's done for that football club since he's come from Real Madrid is second to none. The job he's done for this team is unreal. And people out there like Graham Souness will question it. Can he do it in the Premier League? Can he do it in competitions? Can he still do it at the age he's at? Well, based on tonight, yes, he can. He completely transforms that midfield. And the trust and the level comes back into Man United's game. It comes back into the style and into the chemistry of what Man United can offer. Casemiro has done such a good job at this football club. He's probably big for me. He gets in that Premier League team of the season. He has to be playing week in, week out for Man United. He should not have been benched tonight. I couldn't understand why we're playing McTominay at CDM when he's not a fucking CDM. He's a centre attacking midfielder, and you're putting him at CDM, which is not his favoured position. And the problem is with that, if you rely on players like that, Manchester United will go even more backwards into their old habits of putting the wrong trust in the wrong players. This will go badly wrong if Erik ten Hag starts putting favouritism at this club. He's not going to do that. I think, for me, my opinion, when you're going into half-time and Man United have been shit and then it's 0-0, and for me, that was probably the worst 90 minutes I have watched all season. I compare that to the Brentford result. I compare that to the Brighton result. That, for me, in my opinion, was bloody shocking in that first half. It was bloody shocking. Man United bottled it in the first half and should have taken the opportunities they did get. Weghorst, again, for me, why did we go anywhere near Weghorst in the first place? For me, the only reason why we went for Weghorst is due to the pure fact we couldn't sign any other striker because the Glazers are now using financial fair play crap as an excuse to get away with their crap ownership. They should have gone and got a proper striker. They could have gone and got Gakpo, João Felix, Marcus Thuram. They would have scored the goals this club would have needed. Weghorst, 1 goal in 8 or 9 games. That ain't fucking good enough. I'm sorry. He may have created the third goal, and he did well to chase down the West Ham centre-back, who should have cleared the ball out of his own penalty area to prevent Weghorst from getting the ball for Fred to have a free shot on goal to make it 3-1. But the problem is with Weghorst, first half again, I've seen nothing that gives me any enthusiasm, any confidence that this club can make this signing permanent. Tonight, it shows as a whole. If we make that call signing, this is going back to the days of Ralph Rangnick. Unfortunately, it's going back to the old days of Solskjaer. You're putting the trust in the wrong players and you're signing players who do not deserve to be in a Man United shirt. I'm sorry tonight. I cannot be done with some of these players. Some of these players have to be told tonight, you have played your last game in a Man United shirt. I know we've got all season till May, but the problem is, if Ten Hag keeps using them, performances like that in the first half are going to cost this football club. And it will cost this football club badly. And if it does cost us, I would not blame Erik Ten Hag if he walked away and said, you know what, fuck this club, I'm done with the rebuild, you go and find a manager who's going to take your shit that you give me. Because like I said, I feel like January for me has written this season off. Yes, we may have won the Carabao Cup, but can we keep doing it consistently in the Premier League, Europa League and the FA Cup now? Can this team keep it up the form we're on? We can if we're using the right players. Tonight, you saw from a whole in that 90 minutes, those players tonight are lucky the substitutions made the game change. Marcus Rashford's ability to run with the ball, he's unlucky to not get a goal. He was inches away from putting that ball in. He was very, very unlucky. If Eccles would have played the through ball a lot more smoother and a lot more slower, I thought Marcus Rashford would have been able to get through to the West Ham defender one-on-one. Rashford goes past him. Rashford puts the ball in the net. That would have made it 3-1. Game would have been over. But what I did like at the end was, I liked what Weghorst did. He chased down the West Ham centre-back. He got the ball, he got it as red, and he put the ball in the net. That is what he can do. For me, that's the only positive Weghorst is offering his team. He's giving the chance to close down the opposition and to win the ball. That, for me, is a lot better than what it is now. For me, that is how this football club starts progressing. You chase down the opposition, you win the ball back, and you regain possession, and you attack the opposition goal. And I completely agree with Terry in the chat. The first goal shouldn't have stood in the first place. If that's Premier League, or if that's Europa League or Champions League, that goal is chalked off by law. The goal is ruled out. But yet again, I can't understand, is VAR making the English game better? For me, it's not. It's ruining the atmosphere of what a great football game can become. The goal shouldn't have stood. West Ham's goal shouldn't have happened. And, well, it's typical Man United to concede such a great goal like that. Ben Rama is basically unmarked. And the problem is, Maguire and Lindelof are basically both just standing there. So I didn't have any confidence they were going to be able to close the shot down anyway. As soon as that got ball left Ben Rama's foot, I knew that goal's going in. I know what West Ham are going to do. We're going to be 1-0 down. And I sat there 1-0 down thinking, we've gone winning from the Carabao Cup to being 1-0 down to West Ham. No disrespect. They will stay up. They're not going to get relegated. They're going to be fine. Is David Moyes the right one to be in that job? For me, probably not. Long term, West Ham need a better manager to make these players better. West Ham rely on Declan Rice. For me, he is their best player. But Antonio and Ben Rama are going to cause that team problems for opposition. West Ham are basically relying on Antonio and Ben Rama and Rice to get them out of trouble. The problem is with Ben Rama, I don't think he's a West Ham player, but the way he took his goal, and I applaud it, that was a fucking good goal. But that's down to Man United's poor defensive ability to close down the shot. If they would have closed down the shot in the first place, that goal doesn't happen. But like Terry said in the chat, the goal shouldn't have stood. Man United should have been still 0-0. We could have gone and won the game more. But like I said, the whole game changed in the second half. It's like Man United woke up from a coma. It's like they woke up from a sleep. It's like they just woke up and realised we are playing shit. We have been awful. We have been dreadful. And we deserve to be in the position we are in. They deserved it, Man United. They deserve the criticism they get tonight. I'm not beating around the bush and jumping up and down for joy. I saw a complete different Man United from what I saw at the weekend. We deserve to win the Carabao Cup. Let's not beat around the bush. Newcastle bottled it. Newcastle were awful. They were dreadful. No wonder they never win trophies. But Man United, you should be aiming to win every fucking competition you are in. And if you aim for better, you will be successful. But if you don't win trophies, this club only falls backwards behind all our other rivals. We are still behind Man City. We're still behind Arsenal. And for me, we are still miles off Liverpool and Chelsea, despite of what the league form shows. But if you're going into Liverpool at the weekend, we've got the preview coming up for that tomorrow afternoon. If we play like that against Liverpool in the first half, Liverpool are going to run circles around Manchester United. They will show what Manchester United haven't got in their midfield and their defence. And it showed tonight as a whole that this team does need a rebuild in the summer. Certain players need to be sold. Certain players need to be kept. And for me, we all know what players need to be removed. And I feel like the players we do need another goalkeeper. We do need a world-class midfielder. We need a world-class striker. And we need 2 centre-backs. If you can sell Lindelof and Maguire tonight, who basically showed their time is up as Man United centre-backs, they should have never, ever have been brought in the first place. Lindelof has got no pace. He's got no speed. And he's got no accuracy with passing the ball. Was dragged off in the second half because literally he was shit. And Ten Hag is not afraid to be brutal and make the changes this team actually does need. And for me, in my opinion, it was the same with Maguire. They knew the opposition were going to attack Maguire because they knew he was vulnerable. He doesn't defend well and he lets the opposition run past him. Maguire didn't basically stop. He didn't stop from letting the opposition run it in. Maguire, especially when he's booked within the first 10 minutes, I thought, in my opinion, Maguire should have been called off at half-time, give the captain's armband back to Fernandes and let Fernandes run this team as captain, because Maguire is just absolutely shocking. We paid 80 million for that pile of crap. And I'm sorry, a fridge could defend better than Harry Maguire. My bloody kitchen fridge could defend the goal better than what Harry Maguire does. He just stands there and lets the opposition shoot. He doesn't defend. He doesn't block the shot. He doesn't put a tackle in. He basically just stands there like a statue and basically lets Benrahma have a free shot on goal. The goal goes in. We're 1-0 down. And the criticism has to go on that defence tonight. And if we're talking more about that defence as well, how does Dalot get in this team? Let's talk about Diego Dalot. Right. A bad signing under Mourinho should have never been brought in the first place. Wan-Bissaka was miles better than him in the second half in the Carabao Cup final. Dalot comes straight back into that team for the West Ham game. He, for me, was absolutely shocking in that final. Dalot was awful. Gets booked within the first 10 to 15 minutes. What happens tonight? His game is exposed. Not just his pace, not just his ability or his agility, but his speed. He is slower than Wan-Bissaka. And it's unbelievable that he can't make a simple 5-yard pass to his teammate. And some of the passes he tries to make spectacularly fail and basically get sat down with a massive L on him. He's absolutely such an atrocious right back. Injury record, awful. Never should have gone anywhere near him. Wan-Bissaka, I felt really sorry for tonight because he was probably one of our best final players in that final at the weekend against Newcastle. And basically is put back on the bench again because Ten Hag favours Dalot. Well, I'm sorry, I would sell both of them in the summer and go and get 2 proper world-class right-backs because we are going to need it. We are going to need 2 world-class right-backs in the summer to go with our back 4. And if we're moving on to that left-back position, yet again, I mean, I know I don't rate Luke Shaw, but Malacia, I mean, we paid 15 million for basically a B-Tech Ben Chilwell. He ain't no good. Malacia tonight is dreadful. 15 million from Feyenoord. And this is what he produces. Has no trust in his right foot. Has only ability with his left because his left foot is his stronger foot. But as a game, as a whole, what did he do to keep that back 4 clean? Absolutely bollocks nothing. Absolutely nothing. There is no trust in that Malacia. I'm sorry. What a bad signing. What a bad purchase. And I'm sorry, if the club think that's acceptable, then we're in so much trouble going forward. We are in really, really big trouble. And yet again, surprise, surprise, who is out injured at left back again? Come on down, Luke Shaw. Yet again, Mr. I keep getting injured. I've got an inconsistent injury record and I pick up injuries and knocks like no tomorrow. Yet again, exposes the quality Luke Shaw doesn't have. His fitness record is atrocious. Is out injured again. Has missed Man United most of the season and he's out of the game tonight after the final at the weekend. Basically says Luke Shaw long term as well as Malacia are not the options this club needs at left back long term. They are not good enough and Ten Hag needs to realise it. I would rather go and get Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich and put him in at left back. So I feel like Man United then would actually have a decent defensive back 4. Malacia and Luke Shaw are done. After tonight, I am not convinced by either of them. Both of them, I've got rid of them on my career mode for a fucking reason. They're crap. They're not just crap on FIFA. They're crap in real life. And then we move on down to the striker in position. Surprise, surprise, who is still out injured tonight? Who is out injured tonight again? Still out injured. Come on down, Anthony Martial. Still out injured. No surprise, Martial couldn't keep himself fit to be in a school sports day. Absolutely atrocious striker. Absolutely atrocious injury record. And absolutely does not get this fan base or the supporters off their feet. What a terrible striker Anthony Martial is. We could have actually done with him at the moment for the striking option to put him in the team instead of Weghorst, the BFG's best friend in the Iron Giant. But Martial, I mean, how long is he actually going to be out injured? Long term, how long is he going to be out? Because tonight, it shows again why we actually needed 2 or 3 strikers in January, because you can't rely on Weghorst every week. Martial ain't fit. We've got no other striker. So I'm not surprised we are in the same shit that basically we were since Ronaldo left. For me, I'm now regretting letting Ronaldo go. Maybe we should have kept Ronaldo. Maybe this club should have done better than what it did. Maybe they should have gone and got 2 strikers in January and both on loan, not just Weghorst, but Weghorst and somebody else, because tonight, if Martial is not fit for the Liverpool game on Sunday evening, could you imagine how bad it's going to get for the rest of the season? Because we're still in Europa League. We've got Real Betis at home and away. 2 legs. We've got Fulham in the FA Cup quarterfinals now, and we've got Liverpool at the weekend. Tell me who's going to be starting up front for Man United. Come on down, Weghorst, because Weghorst is going to keep playing until Martial finds an injury bench to get off his ass from and actually keep himself fit. He should have been sold in the summer. And the problem is at Man United, are they going to be able to sell Martial in the summer? No, they won't. They won't be able to sell Martial in the summer because he's on ridiculous wages. And unfortunately, the injury record is going to put teams off, and they are going to walk away from any prospective deal they think they can do for Martial. Martial, for me, like I said, if they would have sold him in the summer or sold him in January, Man United could have put the funds towards a new striker. You could have gone back to Atletico Madrid, given them what they wanted, and would have had Felix and Weghorst both here. But the problem is at Man United, we've got incompetent owners with an incompetent board who are such crap negotiators. They go to Italy to try and get Rabiot and come back with an Italian postcard. They go to Spain, come back with a Spanish postcard, and basically turn back at Old Trafford saying, we tried to get you both, but both don't want to come. They're not going to give them the wages they want. And basically, you're going to have to improve with what you got. Well, there's your answer. There's the problem. We haven't got the options for this team going forward. Good luck till the end of May if this is the team for the rest of the season, because I worry long term where this is going to get the club. Where are we heading long term without any strikers? Because I'm fearing playing Liverpool now, because it's clear to show tonight we are missing the impact of Christian Eriksen. We need Eriksen back from injury very quickly, because I'm done with McTominay. I'm done with Fred. I would rather have some of the youth academy players in the midfield tonight. I mean, that Manu, why is he not even in the team? He did an absolute job against Charlton in the previous Carabao Cup quarter-final game. He's nowhere near the team tonight. He's not even on the bench. A talented youngster like Manu, not even on the bench. And you wonder, what are we trying to do? It's McTominay basically turning into Bugs Bunny behind training and hopping to every ball and hopping to every pass and hopping to every cone on the pitch, because I don't get it. And I feel sorry for Donny van der Beek, because I feel like we're missing Donny van der Beek as well. I feel like the midfield's in crisis, as well as the front three's in crisis. I just feel like tonight, Manchester United, like, we're through, we've won, and I'm happy. But am I happy as the performance as a whole, as a fan, as a supporter? I'm not happy. We were bloody dreadful tonight, completely night and day from the Newcastle game. Man United didn't turn up. West Ham came to Old Trafford. The confidence was there from a minute go. West Ham turned up, and as soon as Antonio started to attack, I know what West Ham game was. They targeted the back four so quickly because they knew the vulnerability was there from the start. If Man United would have played a better team with a better midfield and a better attack, this game, Man United could have won 3-4, 5-0. But it simply wasn't there tonight. And when you've kept Rashford, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro and Varane, your four best players who were brilliant in that final against Newcastle when we won the Carabao Cup, why the fuck are they on the bench? These four really are first team starters. They shouldn't be anywhere near the bench. They should be starting every game for this club. They're your four best players by a mile at the moment, as well as Casemiro and Fernandes and probably De Gea. And Sabitzer, good cameo tonight. Didn't see much, but he did a few bits now and then. And like Sabitzer as well, if he would have converted that chance he had more and put a bit more power onto it, that goal would have gone in. He would have scored his first goal for Man United. And I still feel like, Sabitzer will make such a great permanent signing summer. I still think Sabitzer, Man United should sign permanently, because if you're going to walk away from 18 million, that's all what Bayern Munich won, I think Sabitzer should be better off playing for another club. I feel like, in my opinion, we should go all out for Sabitzer in the summer, as well as another midfield. If we can try and get a Bellingham or Frankie de Jong, it's a big ask because they are both world-class players. Both of them play great for Dortmund and Barcelona, respectively. But if you can get Sabitzer and one of them, McTominay and Fred are out the door. You don't need them anymore. Donny will get more chances. Eriksen, Casemiro, Fernandes, they're all going to be part of one great midfield. For me, we've still got the best midfield in the Premier League. I'm still going to stand by that comment. But long term, if I think you can remove Fred and McTominay, yeah, and I completely agree what Richie said in the chat. And please subscribe to the channel, my friend, if you're new. They need to be rested for league games too. Whole squad is going to have to use. Yeah, the whole squad is going to have to be used at this rate. I completely agree. But the problem is, I don't trust half this team. I don't trust half these players. They can't do a job when you ask them to do it. I think some of these players are completely and utterly ignoring the manager's instructions, and they're not doing what they're trying to instruct them to do on the pitch. And if they can't do that, then why should some of these players be given any more chances to prove themselves? Because if half this dead wood is still here in the summer, what chance has this club got, realistically, long term? What chances has this club really got long term of going forward with? Because if you put the trust in your wrong players, the same cracks will happen like it did with Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer and Rangnick. Favouritism, 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 favouritism and favouritism. That is a problem. And I feel like tonight, if those players are going to keep playing like that, I would banish half of them to the reserves. I would tell them tonight, your time's up here. You're not getting any more game time. And I think we need to be a bit more brutal. I think we're too honest as a fan base. I think, the supporters are a little bit too open, honest with some of these players, and they praise the wrong players. They're putting the trust in some of the wrong players. Everyone's views and opinions are always respected, but if you're looking at it as a whole, and I still think we do need to wake up a little bit, in my opinion. Wake up and realise where the crap is in that team. If the crap is there, remove it. The dead wood is there, you get rid. You don't put the trust in the right players. Then the game goes backwards. Man United keep losing. I think we're lucky tonight. I think Man United are very, very lucky. But we've won the game. We've won 3-1. In the second half, I feel like we deserve a result. We were the better team as soon as the West Ham own goal went in. We did deserve the result. We deserved to go through. But I felt like West Ham basically turned into Man United. I felt like West Ham were the team that won the Carabao Cup. I felt like it was them that won the trophy, not us. It was completely night and day from what I saw on Sunday. United fell asleep half the game and just let West Ham attack them. You can't do that. You've got to attack the opposition. If you've got a team that's weak than Man United comes to Old Trafford, it's attack, 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 attack. And then you track back as a team. You defend as a team. You counter-attack as a team. You don't just rely on the same players week in, week out tonight. And I'll tell you what, if someone could please get Lee Dixon off commentating off ITV as well. I mean, an ex-Arsenal reject who doesn't like it that Man United have actually got a world-class right winger like Anthony in their team, when Arsenal signed a flop like Pepe, spent 85 to 86 million on him and flopped. That's the in my opinion, that is why I cannot agree with half the crap that comes out Lee Dixon's mouth. The amount of shit that comes out of him. You don't like it, you're no longer playing professionally, and you think to yourself, you're better than everyone else. Well, I'm telling you what, you're wrong. It's the fans and supporters that know best. We watch this team, we watch these players week in, week out, game in, game out. Every competition, we stand by the team, we stand by the players. Don't give Anthony an hard time. Oh, I'm not convinced. I've not seen anything much of Anthony. Well, if you maybe would have tuned into the Barcelona Europa League second leg home game and when he scored that wonderful winning goal, maybe you would change your absolute incredibly naive opinion. Anthony is world class on that right wing. For me, he's the best ever right winger we've had. Just get Lee Dixon off commentate because some of the shit he talks, fucking hell, no wonder commentators talk out their ass. It's because they've got nothing better else to say. I can't help it. Pepe flopped to Arsenal. I can't help Arsenal got rid of him 2 or 3 seasons later because he was completely and utterly crap. Sorry if Pepe was shit. That's not my fault. Maybe go and speak to the managers you had in charge then. Oh, I forgot. You had Unai Emery, who was sacked. You had Freddie Ljungberg, a B-Tech Arsenal reject, interim manager. Did he get the best out of Pepe, either of them? No. Is Pepe still at Arsenal? No. So your opinion about Anthony, it goes in the bin. You have no idea what it's like for the fans. You have no idea what it's like for the supporters. If you don't like watching this club, go and commentate on BT Sport because that's probably your level of incompetence, mate. Get Lee Dixon off ITV and go and get some proper bloody commentators who know what they're talking about. Because some of the opinions they come out with is absolutely fucking ludicrous. Bloody hell. If that's what Lee Dixon's like, he's just a B-Tech Jamie Carragher. He's just all mates FC. His job's for the boys, just like with Graham Souness. Everyone's up their own ass. I can't stand it. Like, go and watch some other football if you don't like watching this club. Go and watch a non-league club because that's probably your level of incompetence at non-league level. Go and do something than commentating on Man United games because your opinions are completely and utterly unjustified. You don't like it, Arsenal out the FA Cup. You don't like it, they're not in the Carabao Cup and they didn't win it. You don't like it, they've got a really fucking hard Europa League game against Sporting Lisbon. And do you know what? I hope Arsenal go out and I hope Man United win it. And do you know what? I'm going to rub it so hard in, it's going to be hard to see the sunshine because that is how I feel. Some of these opinions, some of these ITV pundits who think they are so above everybody else. But let's go back to the football now. And if we have to give I'm giving 2 players man of the match tonight from that Man United game. If I'm giving man of the match to 2 players, it's Casemiro and it's Alejandro Garnacho. For me, they were Manchester United's most influential performers in that second half. For me, they changed the game. The goal Garnacho takes, I mean, no wonder this kid wants a new contract. No wonder we should be giving him it because he's absolutely world class. For me, he is going to be up there with Messi. He's going to be up there with Ronaldo. Garnacho has got the level to be able to take his game up there to their level. The goal he scored, I mean, fucking incredible, Garnacho. I mean, the goal he gets, I mean, it's simply incredible the talent this kid's got. And he's only 18 years of age. But I feel like there is so much pressure on his shoulders to perform. He was the standout, one of our best players tonight. He was causing West Ham so much shit down that left wing. If Garnacho keeps playing like that, his talent's going to keep going only up, up, and up, and up. Garnacho is world fucking class. And I'll tell you what, give him a new contract, give him what he deserves because he's absolutely a generational talent, Garnacho. Absolutely world-class player. And my other man of the match, it goes to Casemiro. The job he's done since he's come from Real Madrid, I mean, I'm so glad we've got him. I mean, he is such a baller at CDM. I mean, he controls the midfield, the calmness, the sophistication, the dedication, the passion, the heart, the will, the determination to turn that midfield into what it is today. I'm so glad we've got Casemiro here now. I am really, really glad he's here. But he did lose the ball a few times. Let's not beat around the bush. He lost the ball a few times. But he's miles ahead of McTominay. He's miles ahead of Fred. And if without Casemiro, half the goals he was scored this season, if he wasn't here, we might not have won the Carabao Cup. We might not have won the games we won. We might not have scored some of the goals we actually got. But he was one of the influences that changed that game. And Garnacho was the same. Without Garnacho and Casemiro, United are at the FA Cup tonight. It's another trophy gone. Man United only basically then have Europa League and potential Premier League title. They're still a long way off for both of them, but anything can happen with this club. But I think I'd give my man match to both of them. But another dedicated performance from our manager. The substitutions he makes at the right phase at the right time. Erik ten Hag is going to be up there with Guardiola. He is going to be up there. He's going to be up there. He really is going to be up there eventually. He's going to be up there. I really think. And yet we've got Real Betis next week. I don't have to go yet. We're still going to talk for 2-3 more minutes. I just think, we've got the team capable of winning trophies, but I'm just so glad we were able to turn it around. Because if we would have gone out the FA Cup tonight, I would have been gutted, because that's another potential trophy gone from the Erik ten Hag trophy cabinet. But what he does with that team, he's basically turned into Sooty. He's basically Merlin. He's pulled the sword from the stone, from the Sword in the Stone Disney film. He's basically Merlin. He is Sooty with the magic wand. And he's gone, izzy wizzy, let's get fucking busy. And he's turned that team around. The miracles he's worked with that squad is completely incredible. And full credit to ten Hag. And Kiko Ross in the chat, please subscribe to the channel, by the way. Welcome, my friend. Everyone's welcome to the channel. Everyone's welcome to the community. So please subscribe. Richie as well in the chat. Please subscribe as well to the channel. CJ Plays. Also, please subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. But I'm just so glad we won tonight. And we got the result we deserve in the end. I just felt like West Ham were unlucky. But, Man United basically got over the line. So we got over the scrape of our teeth. United are very lucky. And I feel like, you know what? Can we go on and win the FA Cup? I feel like we can now. If Man City and Burnley can beat them, and Grimsby cannot out Brighton, and Sheffield United go out, this FA Cup's anyone. So let's see what happens from the rest of the season. But, we've beaten West Ham 3-1 tonight. We're through to the FA Cup quarterfinals. Let's see if we can go on and win it. Can we? I believe we can, but I do believe it's going to be a Man City, Man United final. So let's just see what happens from there and see how far Manchester United can go in the rest of the 2022-2023 FA Cup competition. So I hope you enjoyed the match reaction. Remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, that is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, to the community if you're new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always put that notification bell on at times as well to see brand new content planned for the rest of 2023. Got more Fortnite coming, Hogwarts Legacy's coming, more content, Kingdom Hearts 4, the new Formula 1 game, the new IndyCar game as well. We've got coming as well. We're going to do the IndyCar game. More FIFA 23 career mode with Manchester United, Salford City and LAFC in America. We've also got much more brand new stuff, previews, match reactions, and please join me tomorrow afternoon for the Liverpool preview. We'll be live about 1:45 tomorrow afternoon for the Liverpool preview. That is the next time we're going to be live tomorrow afternoon. I'm not going to be any more streaming tonight because I'm tired. I've got to go have a shower and I'm knackered. So, I'm going to be back live tomorrow afternoon for the Liverpool preview. You're all amazing. You're all legends in your own very way. Massive shout out to everyone on the channel community. You're all legends. You're all legendary in your own way. Please join me tomorrow afternoon for the Liverpool preview for Man United's upcoming away game against Liverpool on Sunday afternoon on match day 26 of the 2022-2023 Premier League season. We're through to the FA Cup quarterfinals, but Man United got lucky. I'm just glad the quality of Garnacho is shining in this team. I'm glad Weghorst was able to close down the West Ham centre-back to put Fred for a free shot on goal to make it 3-1. We're through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Can this team go on and win it? We have to wait and see what the rest of the season holds for this club. But you know what? That's 4 games in a row now we've won. 4 games in a row, this team's won. Let's just keep this form up. Let's head into Anfield and let's go and get 3 points against Jurgen Klopp's Reds. They beat Wolves tonight, but we have to go to Anfield and win now. That's the biggest test. Can we go to Anfield and win? I think we can. The confidence there, the players' attitude and the desire and the heart's there. Speak to you guys tomorrow afternoon for Liverpool preview. You're all amazing. You're all legends. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for watching. Peace out for now. Thanks for joining me for this live match reaction. Speak soon.